Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second webinar of our webinar series on Digi-Fed, which is an innovation action supported by the Horizon 2020 program to drive the digital revolution across European SMEs. So, my name is Alice. I work for Blue Morpho. Blue Morpho is a member of the consortium on this project, and we're going to be the innovation management partner in charge of the innovation management program. So I'm very pleased to welcome you to this second webinar of a 4-webinar series. And I am joined today by Anna Georgiev from Digital Catapult in the UK. So hello, Anna.
Good morning, everyone.
And I'm also joined today by who works for Minalogic in France. Hello, Orlan.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Minalogic, a member of the consortium Digi-Fed. I'm pleased to... Hello? Do you hear me?
I can hear you, but I think Alice has some problems with the sound.
I think Alice has...
Yeah, but we can hear you clearly.
Yeah, me.
Okay, fine. Perfect. So...
Good morning. Hervé Ribaud speaking from Minalogic.
Hello, Hervé.
Yeah, I'm Julien Cabassa from Blue Morpho. I will just take over for Alice the time she handled her problem with the sound. So, Alice, maybe can you...
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a little bit of delay. I'm sorry about that, everyone. So today, Anna and Orlan will talk you about the new application process for this second open call. It's called the Digital Challenge. So before we start, as I mentioned, this is the second webinar of a series of 4 webinars. And we will have 2 more sessions in this series in the 2 following weeks. So the 7th of October on Wednesday and the 14th of October. So the 2 next sessions will be to present the technical support you can get from our partners to apply on the second open call. If you register to this webinar, you are automatically registered to the next sessions. And I would really advise you to come to the next session so you can grasp the whole idea of the project. So I would also like to inform you that this webinar is animated today by Blue Morpho and that the slides and the recording of this webinar will be made available for you on the Digi-Fed website. Also on the side, there is a question box that you can use, and please feel free to enter all your questions as we're going through with this webinar, and we will address all questions at the end to our speakers during our Q&A session. So just before I give the floor to Anna and she talks you through the new process on this open call, I just wanted to give you a quick reminder about last week's webinar. So again, the slides and recording of all the webinars will be made available for you. So soon, before next week, you should have this webinar and the one of last week. But just a quick reminder, on this open call, we will have the digital challenge, yes, that will be introduced today. But we will also have the application experiment process. So there are 2 types of application experiments. The classic one, called the single application experiment, where a company applies for 55,000 euros cascade funding to implement the technology of one of the technical partners in its offer. And the second type of application experiment is the twin. And the twin application experiment consists in 2 SMEs applying for a total of 110,000 euros, so 55,000 each. And the company, a company provides the technical support to the other SME, so they develop the product together. So if you want to know more about this, you can visit the Digi-Fed webpage, so digifed.org, and see all the eligibility criteria and eligible costs. And you can also go to the FAQ section where you have also a lot of information. And now, Anna, I now give you the floor.
Thank you, Alice. If you go back a bit, I think we have a slide. Okay, thank you. Before starting to discuss the digital challenge mechanism, just a small reminder about Digi-Fed project. Digi-Fed is a H2020 funding project dedicated to support European cross-border partnerships to foster industry, to digitalize their products and services, and to reach into new markets using CPS and embedded systems. There are 12 partners from 9 European countries which form this consortium. The project has started in January 2020 and it is a 3-year-long project. The overall budget is 8 million euros, out of which almost half is dedicated to the SME startups and mid-caps, which have the opportunity to participate in one of the Digi-Fed programs. Application experiments, twin application experiments, both of these were briefly introduced in last week's webinar, and Alice also reminded us about it today, and the digital challenge mechanism, which will be introduced in today's webinar. So let's learn more about the digital challenge. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. So as mentioned during last week's webinar, for those who are able to attend, the digital challenge mechanism is a new mechanism introduced by Digi-Fed, where Digi-Fed and European enterprises work together to identify a new challenge within their business, which needs a solution. For the proposed challenge, there is no CPS or embedded system solution currently on the market. Therefore, our offering to you includes up to 110,000 euros funding, co-funding between Digi-Fed and the digital challenge owner, added value to your product by accessing high-level technical expertise, innovation support, access to pilot sites to deploy your solution, and if the pilot project is successful, the opportunity to bid to implement the full solution for the digital challenge owner, basically the European enterprise we're working with. Next slide, please. So who are we targeting? The digital challenge targets startups and SMEs who are developing innovative smart solutions worthy of market leaders, are bridging the physical and virtual worlds with advanced technologies and industrialized solutions, are high digital mature and have an existing customer experience, or ideally successfully taking a product or a service from TRL 3 to TRL 8. Moreover, we are looking for companies who will be using an agile approach during the development and will work closely with the digital challenge owners to deliver the proposed solution. Next slide, please. So what is a digital challenge? A digital challenge is a 9 to 12 months project where the selected company, by working independently and closely with the digital challenge owner, develops a solution, product, or service which responds to the needs of the digital challenge owner, as described in the proposed digital challenge. Next, please. Digital challenge owners. Digital challenge owners are large mid-cap European-based companies which have identified specific business needs which need innovative solutions, are happy to act as early adopters of the accelerated innovations, are happy to provide additional support to the program in the form of co-funding, access to innovation support, and pilot studies. For this open call, Digi-Fed is working with GE Hydro France, and in the next few slides, my colleague Orlan from Inalogic will discuss more about GE Hydro France and their proposed challenge. Over to you, Orlan.
Yes, thank you, Anna, for this clear presentation. So for my part, as you said, I will focus on the digital challenge owner, the thematic of this challenge, the attendees profile expected, and the specific support from the digital challenge owner that we name DCO. So as you can see on this slide, the first edition is organized in collaboration with GE Hydro France as early adapter of the accelerated innovation. So for your information, GE Hydro France works on hydropower solution from design to commissioning hydro project, including services for the maintenance and upgrade of all the plants through their life cycle. And for your information, also, GE's hydro turbine and generator represent more than 25% of the total installed capacity worldwide. Next slide, please. Thank you. So now I introduce the subject, which is build an IoT system of systems, or an artificial intelligence of things. System of systems meaning deployed and industrialized low-cost industrial IoT family of nodes with common capabilities. Today we are living in the world of expectation, and we are addicted to connectivity and structured information. GE smart components is a response to that trend, but to acquire those information, it's a hard work, and associated costs are a concern for GE's customers. So we have to minimize those costs. So for the best ROI. And next slide, please. Okay, fine. So the challenge here is to industrialize a solution specific on the use case GE Hydro France, use case chosen by GE Hydro France, to accelerate the development with externalized skill resources and focus on the small components. Hervé, if you can comment this. Hervé Ribaud.
Sorry, Arlan. No, I think it's clear. If there is any questions from the audience, I will try to respond.
Okay, so we will discuss on that with the Q&A session. Yeah. So GE Hydro France is looking for mature company with experience in IoT, artificial intelligence, tiny machine learning, and Arduino platform, with a strong knowledge in embedded device and electronics and library building, to help them to build a robust machine health condition based on monitoring solution. Next slide, please. So as you can see, GE Hydro France selection criteria as the time to market. So for your information, before the crisis, the time to market for GE was 2 years, and now the time to market decreased for 1 year. So now it's again important to have an industrialized solution. The setup of the solution, the deployment cost, and also the solution versatility for their current and future families' assets. And as Anna said before, GE Hydro France add value to the innovation project for the startup or SME selected with and give support. So this is the support given by GE Hydro France, resources and manpower to work with innovators, mentoring and follow-up, access to facility like the GE Hydro France workbench based in Grenoble, I think, and also knowledge. They can give also technical review and sign-off meeting to ensure, of course, the good implementation phase. And if the pilot is successful, it's an opportunity to implement the solution on another use case or asset for GE France.
Okay, thank you, Arlan. In addition to our offering presented earlier, the selected company will also have access to the Innovation Management Program, which will be delivered by our partner Blumorpho. During this program, the selected company will receive support in developing their new product or new service go-to-market strategy, will receive additional information regarding further funding or in attracting private investors. Similarly, the selected company will have access to Digi-Fed digital innovation hubs with center across Europe, represented by our partners. Next slide, please. Okay, Digi-Fed open calls. This is just a reminder of Digi-Fed overall open call details. So as mentioned at the beginning, around 3.5 million euros are available for those who would like to participate in the Digi-Fed program. Our target is to fund 40 projects following the 3 open calls. As you know, the first open call is now closed, and 14 projects were selected from 22 European countries. The second open call was launched last week on the 22nd of September. The closing date for this is 15th of December this year. The third open call will be open in Q1 next year. For more information about this, please visit our website. Next slide, please. Thank you. So now the specifics of the second open call for the digital challenge. Compare with the application experiment, the twin application experiment open call. The digital challenge open call has an additional pre-selection step. The start and closing dates for this call remains the same, September 2020 and December 15. However, we introduce a pre-selection stage. For this stage, all interested companies are asked to submit the pre-selection form by the 27th of October. In addition, we're asking everyone to send us a signed NDA by the 6th of November. The NDA will be between yourself and our digital challenge owner, in this case, GE Hydro France. You will need to submit this document and pass the pre-selection stage in order to be invited to participate in further discussion with GE Hydro and to obviously complete your application by the 15th of December. The last 3 milestones, as you can see on this slide, are the same as the standard open call for the application experiment and the twin application experiment. For more information, again, please visit our website. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. So let's go into the details of the pre-selection stage. So, of course, as before, we're asking all the interest companies to register on our portal. You have the link there. The pre-selection form for the proposed challenge, Build an IoT System of Systems, can be found on the website. Basically, it's a document that contains a summary of the challenge, who we are targeting for this challenge, what is our offering, the support you'll receive from GE Hydro, a detailed timeline of the application process, the key requirements like success criteria, as Orlan mentioned earlier, and the pre-selection form you'll need to submit. It's basically 2 pages of list of questions that we would like you to submit. The submission link is not currently on the website, but will be updated in the next few days. So please keep an eye on the website. Again, as I mentioned, key requirements for the digital challenge open call is all interest companies to submit this NDA document. The template can be found on the website. Submission link again will be updated soon. So why we put this pre-selection stage? First, we wanted to learn from you and your ideas sooner. We wanted to collect initial information about yourself, your expertise, your proposed solutions earlier, and to ensure you'll have the opportunity to engage productively with the digital challenge owner before the final deadline. To summarize, all the pre-selected companies which have also submitted the signed NDA will be invited to participate in a bespoke webinar with GE Hydro shortly after the pre-selection stage is completed. Next slide, please. Thank you. So final proposal submission, the same as the standard application experiment and twin application experiment open call. All the candidates will need to submit a proposal description and a recorded pitch. The details, you can see them on the slide and on our website. Of course, we have a guide to applicants for the applicants as well document. Just a small note on this side, the digital challenge guide for applicants is slightly different than the one for the application experiment and twin application experiment guide for applicants. So if you're interested to apply in this digital challenge, please make sure you download the right guide for applicants document. Next one, please. Next slide. Okay, thank you. So support to the applicants from Digi-Fed Consortium. You can contact the info email box or myself if you want to learn more about the digital challenge mechanism or the application process. Please contact Bastian and Orlan. I think we'll have her details on the website as well soon if you want to learn more about the proposed digital challenge. And of course, visit the project website for more information. Again, just a reminder, submit the pre-selection form if you want to engage with GE Hydro in the coming weeks. And I think we have a last slide before the Q&A section. Go to the next one. Okay. So on this slide is just a summary of the webinar and bootcamp program put together by Blue Morpho. Last week we had the standard open call introduction webinar. Today, obviously, we have the digital challenge webinar. And as Alice mentioned earlier, in the next few weeks, we have 2 dedicated webinars where you could learn more about the technology partners of Digi-Fed. And shortly on the website, will have some guidance on how to prepare your video pitch as well. And here we have some links to the past events from Open Call 1 if you're interested to learn a bit more what happened on the Open Call 1 in terms of webinars and online bootcamps. Thank you all, and I'm looking forward to your questions later in the session. I think it's over
Thank
to
you,
you,
Anna.
Alice.
Thank you, Orland. Thank you. I think there is still a delay, but thank you for your presentation. So as I mentioned before, we will have a Q&A session in a few minutes, so don't hesitate to put questions in the question box. But before we get to that, I had a few questions for the audience. So the first question is, what attracts you to the digital challenge? So you should now see the question popping up on your screen. So what attracts you to the digital challenge? AI or IoT or the application domain? Or is it working with a large European organization? In this case, it would be GE Hydro France. Or is it the funding? So this question has multiple choice. So if you want to select the various options, you can. I'll give you a few seconds and we will close the poll soon. Okay, so we will now close the poll for this question, and the second question should be popping up on your screen pretty soon. So again, I apologize because there's a delay, so it might take a few seconds. So we're going to go slow, right? So the second question is, are you already working on a product or service where the AI or IoT technology has been used during the development? Okay, so again, maybe you need a bit more time, but we will close the poll soon before we move to the last question. Okay, and the last question will be, does your existing roadmap include products targeting B2B, B2C, industry, or mix? All right, so I'll give you a few more seconds and then we close the poll. Okay, so this is it for the questions, and now we're going to go to the Q&A session. So I see that we have already a few questions in the question box, so I will start with the first one. Do you send the slides to the participants? So again, to answer this question, yes, we will give you the slide and the link to the recorded video of this webinar so you can listen to it. Next question. So how many companies will be eventually selected?
I can respond to
Anna,
that one,
can
Alice.
you answer this question?
Yeah, so the final selection will be at the final stage after 15th of December. Only one company will be selected to work with GE Hydro. And that company will receive up to 110k euros to complete the digital challenge project.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Anna. Next question is, for GE Hydro Open Call, will be only one partner, or could it be 2 or 3 partners?
What do we mean by partners? Do we mean companies or Digi-Fed partners? If it's companies, as I said, it's only one company who will be working with GE
The
Hydro.
question is companies.
Sorry, I couldn't hear Alice.
I think he meant companies, but maybe is it when he said partners, maybe is it because can it be a joint venture?
At the moment we're targeting to, we're aiming to work with one company with GE Hydro. So we'll select only one company. But that's a good question. I think we can take it and discuss internally. But as I said, our intention is to select only one company.
Maybe the person
Okay,
means
thank
that
you.
in
Next
partnership it can be a
Sorry,
common offer. No, just would like to complete the question slash answer. Maybe the person who asked this question is a partner, meaning two enterprise who respond with a common offer, and that's a point that we can discuss internally. That's same, Anna Maria.
Yeah, we'll take that internally, and if indeed we decide to open this put this option on the table as well, we'll update the details on the website.
Yeah.
Inform everyone.
Okay, so yes, I think we're going to put this answer on the FAQ section of the website, if that's okay with you. Next question is, can we have a rough presentation of the real-world challenges, use cases that GE Hydro France wants to solve throughout this open call?
Okay, I can respond to that.
Go ahead, Nora. Sorry.
I just do a brief introduction, Orlan, and then you can put the details as much as you can. So we didn't really mention during this call, but GE Hydro France, the digital challenge, the details of the challenge are contain confidential information. It is something that we cannot share openly with everyone on the website or during this session. This is another reason why we had to have this pre-selection stage and this NDA requirement, such that the pre-selected companies, by signing this NDA, they can have meaningful conversation with GE Hydro in that bespoke webinar. In that session, GE Hydro will be able to share the information that you'll need, the details of the challenge itself. Orlando, if you want to add something?
No, exactly. It was perfect. So.
Okay, thank you both then. Next question. How do you define a mature company? The size of the company, the number of customers, the revenue?
So this is a good question also. We have eligibility criteria, but first of all, it's the size of the company, because GE Hydro France doesn't want to work with a company or a startup with just one person, because the digital challenge imposed to the company to work not in full time, but it takes her time to work on a digital challenge. So it has to be a startup SME with some employee or dedicated manpower on that. And also mature company is meaning that the solution is industrialized, so meaning again that the solution is already deployed on another use case. And if you want to complete, Anna.
Yeah, what I would like to add, it's digital maturity. The way we see it is a combination of all of it. So yes, having enough resources to support the project and work closely with GE Hydro, having enough experience, as I said, not necessarily customer experience, but evidence that you have developed similar products in the past. You have taken them from one level to another, technical level to another. Your expertise, your knowledge, and how you're going to work with GE Hydro. Your skills overall. So we're looking, I think, as a whole package. I will encourage you to go through the website, read the about information, download the leaflet, the digital challenge leaflet, the form, and submit the pre-selection form. You'll see it's what we're asking for. It's generic information, let's say, but to learn a bit more about you. And I think it's a good opportunity for companies to be part of this program and work with GE Hydro. And I hope you'll be interested and you'll follow through. Just to conclude, we're looking at the whole package. So don't be, how do I say that? I will encourage you to apply, basically. I think it will be useful for you to be part of it. Thank you.
So thank you, Anna. Thank you, Orlan. Next question is, for this challenge, is it possible to have the twin participation for 2 SMEs, or is it just a single SME? So I'm going to answer this question because we answered this before. So we will see if we can have a kind of consortium answering the applying for this digital challenge, and we will discuss this internally, as we said before. And I just wanted to remind you that the twin and single application experiment are different than the digital challenge. Okay, so there are 2 different modules that you can apply for on Digi-Fed. Next question, are there other digital challenges than GE Hydro France?
I can respond to that. So at the moment, for this open call, we only have GE Hydro proposing the digital challenge. The plan is to have more digital challenge for open call 3. We're planning to bring other European enterprises to be part of the Digi-Fed program.
Yeah, and if I can complete, so if you are a mid-cap or a key account and you are interested to participate to create a digital challenge experiment, so please let us know. It will be a pleasure to organize that for you. Thanks.
So thank you, Orlan. Thank you, Anna. There's another question related to the company profile that can participate. So I think we've answered that before. I don't know, Anna, if you want to add something, or Orlan.
Yeah. So in terms of company, 1 second. So I can say eligibility criteria, company profile. So startup, SME, can guarantee required resources to implement the digital challenge, and is not in any situation which which will exclude them from receiving financial support. Agree to sign the standard contract if selected. It has to be based in EU member states or EU associated country. The same as the standard application call. Obviously, you have to follow the process. So submit this pre-selection form, submit the NDA, and submit on time the final proposal. So, and in terms of the sizes of the company, we're looking for a medium size. Perhaps you can show the slide 28 in our presentation, Alice. I think it's, instead of me going through the numbers, it's one of the hidden slides at the back of the presentation. So it's after the eligibility criteria, the one that is just.
Okay. So it won't show on the presentation. It's a hidden slide, right?
Yeah, it's at the back of the overall slide deck. Okay, slide actually just go down a bit. I think the numbers of slides is different from. It's called open call eligibility criteria. There are 2. Yeah, so that's the one I just said. Again, pre-selection form, NDA, submit on time, and company profile, startup, SME, have resources, sign the contract if you're selected, have to be EU member state or associated country. And the next slide is just the next. The SMEs, the numbers. So medium-sized companies, small and micro, with the staff headcount, turnover, and balance sheet total. But yeah, I hope if it's not clear, please send us, contact us on the info in my box. We'll try to explain.
There is another question on eligibility, but this time is eligibility eligible costs. So what kind of expenses are taken into account for the 55K funding?
Can you go on the next slide, Alice? Because we have financial support and then we have eligible cost as well, 2 slides. So here is the same as for the standard open call application experiment and the twin application experiment, where through the cascade funding you receive, in this case, I said up to 110K euros, which represents 70% of the budget, the clock cost. Here, I think it's a bit regarding the constraints from the H2020 project. So maximum of 55K per company per project. That's what we need to follow this rule. Maximum of 100K per company if Digi-Fed multiple projects. So if you are part of, let's say, open call 1 with application experiment, and then you apply for this one, I believe this is the rule you're going to be constrained by, having maximum 100K funding. Maximum of 100K cascade funding per company under SAE. So basically, if you applied in the past to previous project under the SAE family, it's called, you can only get 100K cascade funding. The schedule of payment, as before, you get 50% of the funding released at the moment you sign the contract and 50% of the funding at the end of the project. And if we go to the following slide as well, Alice. Yeah, so this is the eligible cost. So direct personal costs, other direct costs, for example, materials, travel costs, or attending meetings, but only inside Europe is specified there. Indirect costs up to 25% of all direct costs, and subcontracted only 50% of your budget can be subcontracted. And this is just an example of the, let's say, cost report you'll need to submit at the end of your project, justifying your expenses. I hope it's clear again.
Okay, thank you, Anna. Next question is, what is the role of Digi-Fed partners in this project?
Monitoring partner. So Digi-Fed, in this case for GE Hydro, Minalogic will be working with you, with the digital challenge owner, closely to develop your solution. It will ensure that the progress is going according to the plan, ensure that the communication between yourself and the GE Hydro is working. But our intention is that yourself, as a selected company, you'll be working closely with the digital challenge owner to develop your solution, and as independently as possible. So no technical support will come from the Digi-Fed partners for this digital challenge experiment. And another reason why we're looking for mature companies with previous experience, with high skills, let's say, so we are confident that they can take the solution through the development stages independently, with only support from the digital challenge owner as required in terms of training, access to sites, and so on.
Maybe to add something on this, you probably have to take
thank you, Anna.
consideration.
Next question. Okay.
Yeah, as I was saying, you have to take into consideration that as Digi-Fed partners, our role is to facilitate the work between the digital challenge owner and the company. So at some point, we have been working on with the digital challenge to promote it and also to facilitate the collaboration that you might have with this company. So indeed, we don't have any technical support, but what we do is stay at your full disposal to facilitate and to enhance the collaboration between the company, GE Hydro France, and yourself.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question will be, what is the role of Digi-Fed partners in this project? No, sorry, that's the question we just had. Where will the project take place in France?
I think the main development will be good to happen at the selected company side. But obviously, when we come to the deployment stage, if you require to deploy the solution on GE Hydro site, then this is something that I assume GE Hydro is happy to support. That's the purpose of the digital challenge. Eventually, towards the end of the project, the solution to be demonstrated on GE Hydro's site. Bastian or Orlan, maybe you can add more on this. Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I have a bad connection. Can you rephrase the question, please?
Where will the project take place in France?
So in France, Hydro-France is based in Grenoble, and so, for example, this is when I talk about facilities, I talk about the workbench access in Grenoble. But I suppose if the company selected will be a German company, for example, I suppose there will be some journey for both. So I can say.
Yeah, what I can add to that, as you can still see on the slide, the travel costs are covered under this funding. So in your planning, when we apply for this digital challenge, in your costing, please include any travel cost as well, because those are eligible costs. So you'll receive payment for that. So make some assumptions in terms of how much travel you'll require to visit GE Hydro, and that will be that should be covered if it's within 110K limit. Thank you. Alice?
Next question. My company already installed IoT products for GE Belfort plants, energy monitoring. Are we still able to participate?
Can you please repeat? It was a bit.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll repeat. So my company already installed IoT products for GE in Belfort plants, energy monitoring. Are we still able to participate?
So the question is, the company is already working for GE Hydro-France?
They worked in the past in the previous project, it seems so.
Yes.
No, there is no problem, because as Anna Maria said, we invite you to read the pre-selection form, and at the end of this pre-selection form, you will see a question mentioning a past collaboration, or a collaboration, yes, in the past or in the future. So no, it's not that the company is eligible. There is no problem for that.
Thank you. Next question. Should the proposed solution include both sensors and software, or do we assume that GE will provide the sensors?
The proposed solution, if I can add something and then I'll pass it on to Yorlan. The proposed solution will have to be around the CPS, so it has to include both software and hardware. That's the Digi-Fed scope. So yes, I think that's from my side. Orlan, if you want to add something on GE side.
No, you're right. GE Hydro-France is looking for a solution with both side sensor as microcontroller, because the issues is that the microcontroller is not internalized in GE Hydro-France side, and they would like an artificial intelligence family of nodes embedded in this sensor. But maybe Hervé Ribaud can add some technical.
No, I think it's actually a question that should be conveyed to GE on the October and 7 and October 14 session, because this is really important that they tell us what is their baseline, that is what they have, what are the issues, and what they expect from this call. I would think, but again, this would need to be confirmed by GE on October 7 and 14, that they do not really want a revolutionary sensor, because probably they already have them in place. It's mainly a problem of communication, data processing from the sensors. But again, I would strongly suggest that we convey this type of question to G for this October 7 and 14 session, because this is really key. What do they have? What is their baseline, and where do they need some support?
I think the important thing for them is the artificial intelligence at the edge. So it's the capability for the microcontroller to run a tiny ML algorithm on the microcontroller.
Yeah.
If I can just add something, just a small comment. On the 7th and then 14th of October, the webinars are for the Digi-Fed partners to introduce their technical offering. So you don't expect to have GE Hydro in one of those sessions. However, you have the opportunity to engage with them once the pre-selection stage is completed. So early November, as soon as we finalize the pre-selection stage, we will invite you to a specific webinar where GE Hydro will be able to discuss with you any questions you might have, including this comment or your question regarding having the sensors provided by GE Hydro. So yeah, for now, the only key message I would say will be your proposed solution should contain both the hardware and the software aspects of the product. Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, we have one last question. Maybe it's been answered by your previous answer. Are you looking for a solution that focuses on IoT sensors and data collection, or on specific use of the data such as visualization, predictive maintenance, etc.?
Orlan or someone from Inalogic maybe can answer that.
So the question is more, can you repeat, sorry, because I didn't hear very well.
Yeah.
I think the question is, what is important? Is it the IoT component and the data collection, or is it the processing? Is it the AI part, or is it the IoT part? I think that's the question.
So as Hervé said before, we have to confirm that with GE Hydro France next week. But I think the important part, as we said before, is the artificial intelligence parts and the collection of the data. But Hervé, you can.
No, right. I think that this is focus and protocol issues and communication issues is also part of the problem they now have. And as Orlan explained, the return on investment, because all this monitoring system is still costly overall, and it's very difficult to charge the customers with that type of cost, because reliability and is supposed to be free or no cost thing. So yeah, they have this return on investment issue that they need to solve. So the solution needs to be cost effective, obviously, versatile, address many types of sensors, and that's basically the challenge they have. Yeah.
What I think we could do once Minalogic has further discussion with GE, we will see how much information can be shared with you on the website. So please keep an eye on the website, because there is a chance that we might update the content on that information. Similarly, the questions that it was just asked, we can put it on the FAQ section as well, and we'll try to respond as best as we can, given the confidentiality constraints we have with the GE Hydro.
Okay, so there are no more questions now. So I don't know if any one of you wants to add something.
No, just thank you everyone for attending the webinar, and please visit our website, and we're looking forward to receive your applications on the 27th of October.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Orlan. Thank you very much, Anna, Henry, and Bastien. So this will be the end of our webinar. Please remember the next sessions coming up on this project in this webinar series. So next session is on the 7th of October, and the one after is on the 14th of October. and our technical partners will introduce their technologies to you. So thank you very much for your participation. Thank you everyone, and I hope to see you all next week. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.